Alright, Red Dragons family. Welcome back to another video here on the channel, your go-to place to stay up to date with everything happening at our beloved Wrexham. Today, we've got 3 massive updates straight from behind the scenes at the club, and trust me, the third one is jaw-dropping. We're talking about a historic signing, something that could seriously raise the level of our team, and it's already turning heads across Europe. But before we dive into that bombshell, we need to go through 2 hot stories that are shaking things up behind the scenes, and they help us understand everything that's leading up to this final, blockbuster move. So get comfy, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and stick around till the end, because what I'm about to share could change the course of our season. News 1. The Australia Tour explained. Let's start with a question that's been on a lot of fans' minds since Wrexham jetted off. Why did the club head all the way to Australia and New Zealand for pre-season? Well, the answer isn't just about football, it's also about what's happening off the pitch. And who better to explain it all than Michael Williamson, the club's CEO, who gave an exclusive interview to ESPN. According to him, over 50% of Wrexham's revenue now comes from outside the UK. That's right, the majority of the money keeping the club going doesn't come from match days in Wales. It comes from fans all around the world. And how exactly does that money roll in? Through shirt sales, broadcasting rights, match streaming, the official online shop, massive sponsorship deals. All of that has been supercharged by one major game-changer. Welcome to Wrexham, the hit docuseries that turned the club into a global sensation. Thanks to that exposure, the fan base has exploded, and Wrexham, once a local club, is now a worldwide phenomenon. To keep those international fans connected and invested, the board knows they need to go where the fans are. So this pre-season tour in Australia and New Zealand is about much more than fitness. It's about building the brand, strengthening the emotional connection with global supporters, and making sure Wrexham continues to grow financially and structurally, ready to climb even higher in English football. Want a concrete example of that growth? Sponsorship revenue jumped from £1.8 million to an incredible £13.1 million last season. That's not just a big number, it's proof that this international strategy is working. And they're not stopping at Oceania. Williamson also revealed that Wrexham is eyeing Asia next, especially Indonesia, where there are reportedly over 280 million football fans. Even capturing a tiny portion of that audience could mean a huge boost for the club. Now back to the tour itself. The Red Dragons are set to face Melbourne Victory, Sydney FC, and Wellington Phoenix, 3 of the top clubs in the region. But don't think for a second this is a holiday. This is make or break time for a lot of players in the squad. Guys like Ollie Palmer, Jacob Mendy, and Sebastian Ravan are being closely watched. They didn't get much playing time last season, and with the squad being reshaped, now is their chance to prove they still belong. Those who don't perform might be left behind when the Real campaign begins. In other words, this trip isn't about sun and sightseeing. It's about hard work, big decisions, and players fighting tooth and nail for a spot in the squad. News 2. Negotiations for Lewis O'Brien and potential exits. Now hold on tight, because this one could stir up the emotions of Wrexham fans everywhere. Wrexham are in talks to sign Lewis O'Brien, a midfielder from Nottingham Forest, but behind the scenes, this deal is proving to be far from simple. The club has already reached an agreement with Nottingham Forest on the transfer fee, so the money between the clubs is sorted. But here's the catch. O'Brien's wage demands are well above Wrexham's usual salary structure, and that's where things are getting stuck. But wait, that's not the whole story. If Wrexham do manage to get this signing over the line, it could seriously shake up the current squad. Manager Phil Parkinson is keen to strengthen the midfield with experienced players who are ready for the championship. Besides O'Brien, the club is also looking at targets like Miles Peart-Harris, among others. But there's a crucial point that can't be ignored. In the championship, clubs are only allowed to register 25 players. That means if one comes in, someone else has to go. It's a strict rule, and it forces the club to make some very tough choices. And those decisions are already causing tension in the squad. Players like Ollie Palmer, George Evans, Sebastian Ravan, and even Jacob Mendy are reportedly under review. They didn't get many minutes last season, and now they've got to prove they still deserve a place. This pre-season tour in Australia might look like a relaxed warm-up, but in reality, it's more like a live audition. Those who don't perform in these friendlies could be out before the real season even kicks off. According to Graham Bailey, a well-known transfer insider, Wrexham's interest in Lewis O'Brien only surfaced recently, but it's already being treated as a priority. He also noted that nothing's been done yet regarding Charlie Savage, which could suggest the club is waiting to see how the O'Brien situation unfolds before making any decisions about the rest of the midfield. The truth is, Wrexham's midfield is going through a transition. Bringing in a player like O'Brien could raise the level of the team, but it might also mark the end of the road for others who've been part of the journey so far. And that leads us to the big question. Is it worth letting go of loyal players to make room for a big-name signing like O'Brien? Or would it be wiser to invest in the ones who already know the system, the culture, and the heartbeat of Wrexham? Time will tell. But one thing's for sure. These pre-season matches aren't just friendlies. They're make-or-break moments in disguise. News number 3. The big bomb of the day. Kakas could join. Alright, now it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. The biggest news of the video. The one from the thumbnail. The one that could truly shake up Wrexham's future. The club is very close to securing one of the most exciting signings of its modern era. Liberato Kakas, left-back for Empoli in Italy's top flight, the mighty Serie A. And make no mistake, this isn't just another transfer rumour. We're talking about a player who cost £3.5 million when he was signed by Empoli in 2022 from Belgium, and who was hailed by the New Zealand press as a historic signing for their national football. Yes, historic. Kakas is a symbol, a respected name in international football. He's only 24 years old, but already a regular starter for the New Zealand national team, with 16 international caps to his name. And it gets even better. He's just come off a fantastic season in Serie A, with 39 appearances, 2 goals, and 5 assists. So we're talking about a player who's got rhythm, quality, end product, and still plenty of room to grow. But Kakas isn't just another typical left-back. He has something every manager loves: versatility. Sure, his main role is left-back, but he can also play as a left-sided centre-back or even as a left midfielder. He's basically a tactical Swiss Army knife, someone you can rely on in multiple situations throughout a long season. Now here's the real bombshell. If Wrexham managed to sign Kakas, it would mark the first international transfer under Ryan Reynolds and McElhenney directly from outside the UK. That's right, the very first overseas signing since the new owners took over. So this would be a major milestone, a shift in ambition, a new chapter in the club's recent history. But of course, not everything is smooth sailing. Empoli are pushing for a quick sale. They want the deal wrapped up fast, no drawn-out drama. And that puts Wrexham in a race against time, and against rival clubs also keeping close tabs on Kakas. If the Dragons want to land this one, they'll need to move fast and decisively. Now, why is Kakas so important right now? Because with promotion to the Championship, Wrexham needs squad depth more than ever. The season ahead is going to be long, intense, and packed with tough challenges. The defence has to be rock solid, adaptable, and ready for anything. Kakas could be the missing piece in Wrexham's backline puzzle. He'd provide competition and cover for James McLean, Lewis Brunt, and others, and become a luxury option on that left flank. With his youth, international experience, and top-level football pedigree, Liberato Kakas could be the name that transforms Wrexham's defence. But the window is open, and time is ticking. So, what did you think of today's updates? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Wrexham should invest heavily in players like O'Brien and Kakas? Who would you keep from the current squad? Who should move on? And don't forget, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated with everything Red Dragons. We're bringing you hot news, honest analysis, and behind-the-scenes insight every single day. So if you love Wrexham, this is your home. See you in the next video. Go Red Dragons!